Hi there, this is Matt Scowen, the Floor Detective. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel here. Hope to give you some good information that'll help make all of your flooring installations successful. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's just get started. Those of us who are of a certain age remember old-time commercials on television. Back in the 60s and 70s, they'd be advertising a particular drug or pill or whatever. And at the end of the advertisement, the announcer would always say, "Don't forget, read and follow label directions." And really, as a philosophy in life, that's probably a very good philosophy. Read and follow label directions. It'll keep you out of a lot of trouble, and particularly in the flooring business, read and follow label directions. It will save you so much time, so much money, so much agony if you just look at the instructions and read them and follow them carefully. Just about every product, with the exception possibly of rolls of carpet, come packaged with installation instructions. And like any other industry nowadays, the flooring industry, technology has changed dramatically through the years. The products that we're putting down today weren't around even 10 years ago. Certainly 30 years ago. If you've got an old-time installer, "Oh, I've been doing this for 30 years. Well, if you've been doing it the same way for 30 years, that's a problem, because the adhesives that we use, the setting materials that we use, the flooring products that we put in, they're nothing like what we used to use back in the 90s, never mind the 70s or 80s. We've got completely new materials that act completely differently than what we're used to, even though their finishes on the top may look the same. So the important thing is, every time you put down a product, look at the instructions. The flooring industry has trade groups, the Carpet and Rug Institute, the National Wood Flooring Association, the Tile Council of North America, the North American Laminate Fabricators Association, the Resilient Floor Covering Institute. These are all groups that are industry organizations, trade organizations that publish installation instructions. These installation instructions are fairly generic. They're not specific to a manufacturer, but they are the standard for installing products in their particular categories. And when push comes to shove and we have to go to court, these are the standards that we use to compare what the installer did to what he should have done. Every installer installing any type of floor covering should be familiar with the standards for that particular floor covering. They're all published. Most of them are available online. You can certainly contact these organizations and get a hold of them. These are very comprehensive. Three of them that I can think of off the top of my head: the TCNA handbook, the NWFA guidelines for installation of hardwood flooring, and the CRI 104 and 105 standards for the installation of carpet are extremely thorough and cover most every single contingency that you could run into as an installer. So if you're installing professionally, and you're doing these products, you better have copies of these in your office, in your hands, and you better be reading them and following them. The TCNA is probably the most exhaustive standard that's out there. It is completely thorough. There's very few things that are not in the TCNA handbook. And the nice part about it is you can take these installation instructions and go back to your customer, to your general contractor, to your architect, and say, "This is the way I have to install it." And if they say, "Well, no, we want you to do it a different way," say, "I can't warranty the installation then, because you're asking me to do it contrary to the industry standards." Now, the industry standards cover everything up to manufacturer's installation instructions. Manufacturer's instructions will always trump the industry standards, because new products come along, new materials come along, and the manufacturers have, if they publish instructions with their product, that's how you have to install it. If the manufacturer says moisture levels in the concrete slab have to be below a certain level according to these tests, then you have to take those tests in order to fulfill the installation instructions. If you don't do that, you have not installed the product according to the manufacturer's installation instructions, and by definition you voided the warranty in most cases. In addition, as I said, not every manufacturer is the same. Not every manufacturer wants their product installed the way the next manufacturer does. When it comes to click-together flooring, we've got all types of different methods, joints, different ways of joining the products together. One company says you've got to slide it together. One says you've got to drop and lock. The next one says you've got to tap it with a rubber mallet. The next one says you've got to tap it with a rubber mallet, but 1 inch away from the end joint, not on top of the end joint. And if you're just slamming these things together on the side with a tapping block because that's what you were taught 5 years ago, you're going to create a lot of problems for yourself as well as for the people that you're installing for. So above all else, this is the most important information I can communicate to anybody in the flooring industry. Read and follow label directions. Read the instructions. Now, are all instructions great? No. We've all seen the kind of funny Google translation from Chinese that ends up being kind of humorous, and some of them are incomplete, and some of them may be actually incorrect. Sometimes they'll make a change in the product and they send out the old installation instructions. Well, guess what? If you install it according to their instructions, your liability is zero. It's their liability. They sent you the wrong directions. If you go about and do it your way, all the liability falls on you. So again, please, for your own sake, keep yourself out of trouble. Read and follow label directions. It takes a little bit more time, but you'll be much more educated and you'll have more successful installations. And really, that's what we all want, is successful flooring installations. Nobody likes callbacks, never make any money going back and fixing something. So, this is Matt Skowron, the Floor Detective. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time.